This is all on the page, and I'm gonna call this one troubleshooting. Didn't learn the 7 fingerings. Probably I'm sending this not just to Kerry. But at any rate, we're gonna think about subgroupings for these 7 fingerings. Goal being just to memorize the hand movement. Better problem to be stuck on this and understand the larger concept we're moving towards. If I just do this here and in this key, then having that be confusing and knowing the fingerings, so you're working towards executing stuff you actually understand, just got to get through the formality of doing this. So you're going to work on 1, 2, and 3 until you're really good on them. On 1, it's going to be really important that you go to starting position more than any other fingering, because this is the one where you're most going to be like elbow trapped against my body and your hand's going to feel like that. So, not like that, but like this. And, however, if you don't want to call it second fret in your head, call it, first, whatever. That was just so we'd go bing, 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 and then stuff would happen. So, second fret's just, I have 4 fingers ready to do shit here, reach, rather than just launching into it, where everybody's prone to ending up too far that way. 2, it seems like, you're good, you get to here, no problem, and then you tend to go like in 1. So yeah, let's just do this a little bit. This is E, this is F. This is E, this is F sharp. You really well from tuning and stuff. So it kind of makes sense. You could be like, okay, this is F. I can solidify that I actually know that one's F as a landmark, just like this one's F by accident. Another thing I just want to mention is that we play the same thing on the low E and the high E in every single one of these. Anyway, so we've just gone 1, really good thumb position, 2, really good thumb position. Like we talked about, 2 is one that you're not going to sit around and play a lot on, but we're learning it, so we can do everything. And then the third one, where the root's here, and we talk about how we could omit this B right there, theoretically, and still be like kind of more representative. So it seems like when you get up to the high strings here is when you get confused. And this is sonically satisfying because you can do it starting on any root, on a 3rd string. So yeah, try to just think of it as we suggested from the beginning, these 3 strings. And then autonomously this part. If you need to, you could go whatever it takes to. So, then you've learned 1 through 3. At this point, you're going to decide to focus on, randomizing those. So, whatever it takes, just be like 3, 1, 2. There's only so many orders you can do them in. Just anything but 1, 2, and 3 each time. So stop and really get those down. It's the ones you've done the most. Mostly we're working on elbow position and actually doing the starting position, which just takes a split second and some discipline. So starting in group 2, which are the ones that revolve around, here's my root, and this is where your left thumb is going to be tempted to drag there. So if you want, from wherever you are on the fretboard, just move your arm slowly up there. And you can start to associate that with 4 and 5, this subsection, where we're around this one. And those, like we talked about today, go 2 of one thing, 2 of another thing, middle pinky, the thing I played on the other E string. So they both go, I did this twice, I did this twice, then this stuff. And this one. So then when you get to 5, that's when you really jam yourself up with thumb position. And it's just thumb position. You're not any longer having issues with elbow. It's a comfortable elbow spot for you. So yeah, when you get to this one where you literally start with the root, which makes it kind of memorable, 5, because it's one where we literally are on the root, that's where you want to just have your brain start to trigger. I'm going to make sure my thumb is actually not dragging back towards the 5th fret or whatever. The frets are closer together up there, not farther apart. We're not using this fingering. We're using the fingering like in 1 and 2. And then the rest is just chilling there. What I just said was, today you've done this a couple times, like about 6 maybe or whatever, or you just, this is almost identical to number 1. There's only 1 string different, just right here. Everything else about it, very similar. So, there you just did subsection 2, 4, and 5, and then just be sure you do it 5, then 4, 5, then 4. So then the next step is going to be to complete those 2 subsections. So first just go subsection 1, subsection 2. When that starts to click, do the whole thing at random. At this point, you can take a die, roll it, and if it comes up 6, oops, roll it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the whole thing. That is our strategy for actually memorizing them, where they block in, is doing them out of order, not in order each time. So yeah, like however you want to handle that, you need to actually do it. And we've said that the whole way, but here we're just suggesting that you're going to complete 1 through 3 before you do the next 2, then you're going to focus on 4 and 5 autonomously. And then before you even try the last grouping, which is the last 2, you're going to get really good at doing those at random, roll the die, everything but 6 counts, and then, obviously see where this is going. So spend an hour doing that, just working on 1 through 5, just really trying to pay attention to the technique counts that we just talked about, which again are starting 2 in good thumb position, mostly, and starting 5 in not thumb dragging position, like 4 and 5 both, just getting used to moving your entire arm up there. And that's another good reason they're a subsection together. And it seems to mostly occur. That's the wrong fingering you're currently using. Like we were starting at 9th fret, not 8th fret. So just advance a fret, and so that's where you are on the fretboard when you're playing number 5. Yeah, and it's like, so number 5 is like number 1 and number 2, hand movement wise. It's not like number 6, which is the next one that you might kind of be thinking of. And again, the whole thing that's making this confusing is not doing starting position for a split second. So that's the whole thing, is this split second is just going to take a moment, and then you won't even have to think about it anymore. So there you go, great. Cool, so, just really stop now and get really good at the first 5. Then tacking the last 2 onto the end of that is going to seem like a really nominal amount of time, because you already will have done these out of sequence. First doing the first 3 at random, then the second 2 at random, and or excuse me, 4 and 5 at random, and then tacking the last 2 on, and then doing the whole thing at random. So that's just the same. We're going to play them in order first, and then randomize them. So whatever, roll a die, 7 pieces of paper, each say 1 through 7, shuffle them up, turn one over, play that one, whatever you have to do to literally randomize it. But cool, so yeah, there it is. Seems like starting 2 in good position on starting position, and 5 as well. Simplified rather than, don't be over here like this, or don't drag your thumb on 5. Just starting with actually doing starting position for a split second, and then starting to play. It's going to be what's up. And probably your brain was kind of like letting 6, where we do have a lot of pinky reaches, because it gives you center to play this part up top. Just be like, no, that. You might have been thinking about that a little bit when you were playing 5. Anyway, great, so there we go. And we've been talking about playing it like a quarter of the tempo you are now, and not guessing at all. Just never in the guessing headspace. Not looping small sections, just literally there is this hand movement to the extent where you can just do this when I'm doing right now. And that's going to take out the sonic part of it. And like I'm saying, this is just a pit step on the way to playing in rhythm, going up and down the patterns, doing all kinds of different shit with them for the rest of your life. Right now we're just learning like the alphabet and vocab of this language we're about to speak, and that is what we're stuck on. So cool. We'll try to break them into small sections and randomize, play, and point. There exists this fingering. Makes me go out pointing here. Cool. And there we are on brush up on 1 through 7. I haven't memorized them.